Okay, so did you guys go through like how, so what is the importance of replicate inbound folder, replicate inbound, replicate outbound, archive, any idea? So regarding this, when the file will go to each folder, what is the
I
purpose of
when
archive?
we yeah, when we want to move to production server to test server or environments, then we need to use, right?
Correct. So what is the purpose of archive directory here?
Means we can take the package from test environment to production, from development environment to test environment, like that.
Okay, so
We can
when we,
install the package.
okay,
Yeah.
so how do you install a package?
First, we need to archive the package and we need to put that into outbound folder,
Wait.
I think.
So first you will do the archive, right?
Yeah.
So archive you will come here, the package management, and for example, say I want to move this my package. So currently this is my test server. I want to move from this test server to production server. So I will take the backup of my package. So when I click on this archive, so where this file will go and store, where this file will store.
I mean, files are there, right? Installation files. So in that packages folder is there.
Okay, tell me where. Here,
Yeah, default, then package.
packages. So you're saying like it will store here.
Yeah.
No. So actually all the packages will be in the packages folder, but whatever the packages you have, one second. So if you do the archive, so all the archive file folders will come to outbound.
Outbound out.
Okay, if you want to install any archive packages into your system, then you have to put it to inbound. So inbound won't be having anything unless until you copy and paste something to here. Okay. So whenever you do this archive, so for example, so this is like one more time I'm going through. So I'm checking my outbound. So I have all this right. I'll delete. Okay. Okay, so if you see my replicate outbound folder, I don't have any files. But if I do the archive from here, so that archive file will go and store there. Okay, so when you're doing the archive, so you have to concentrate on the archive type. So whether you want to go to full or patch. For example, if it's a new package, you will do the full, and you know like there is a change only in the particular service. So it will show all the services here. Okay, so you don't want all the package, the entire package to be moved. Then you can select a patch, and then you select what are the things you want to move. You can do with the control. Okay. So go for the full archive, which includes everything. And then, so your package, if you want to give some date, so it will be good if you give the today date whenever you're taking the backup. If you're taking more than one time, then you give the time also for that particular day. It's 29th, right? Yes, 29th. And then version number you can give, and you can increase versions like whenever there are more changes one by one. Then click on archive. So if I click on create archive, then you go here. And, so you see the date 7:17 a.m. So whenever you take the archive, so that will come and store it to your replicate outbound. And whenever so you're installing a pack, like if you want to install a package, you have to put it inside your inbound folder, and then you have to go on do the install inbound release. So if you click on install inbound release, so whatever available in the inbound package, so this will be come up here. When you say install and see active upon installation and archive upon installation. So whenever you click this option, archive upon installation, so after installing this package, so the package will be deleted from here and will be placed into your archive directory. Okay, and then salvage. Whenever you delete a safe delete, whenever you do the save delete, that file will come and store here in the salvage. So these four folders you have to remember. When you do the backup, it will come here, and when you want to install from another server to this server, you will put it into inbound. So you will place the package into inbound, and so if you click on the archive upon installation, it will come up here. And then if you want, if you do the save delete from the package deletion, we have the save delete option. If you do the save delete, it will go to salvage folder. Okay, that's up to package management. We'll go to the solutions. The solutions, the important one is, so if you want to enable any VCS, the VCS is nothing but a version control system. So if you have SVN or like some other Microsoft tools, then you can go for the VCS. So as of now, what we do is we'll do the backup manually. But if you have the VCS, everything will be stored. I mean, like it will take the auto backup whenever you commit the code. Okay, we'll check how to the VCS you have to enable. So first you will go come here, the VCS, and come one more time. So click on VCS and then configuration. First you have to do the configuration for your VCS. So first you select which VCS system you want to install. These are the available. You can go with the subversion, which is SVN, or Microsoft Azure Sourceforce, or ClearCase. So most of the people will be using the subversion. If it is a subversion, select on subversion, save changes, and if you want, one second. Okay, so you know the subversion location where your VCS is located. For example, mm, so it's like I have enabled SVN, and if you want, you can check. So whenever you have the SVN, so you can see the options like this. So I have the Tata is SVN and then SVN checkout option. So this will tell you whether you have the SVN option or not. Okay, if you have the SVN option, then if you go to Tata is SVN and repo browser, it will give you the URL. Okay, so this URL you can copy and paste it here. Okay, and recorrect to subversion. So whenever there is a connection issue, then you can reconnect to the subversion. So once you complete the configuration, I mean like which version, so whether you want a subversion, ClearCase or Microsoft, and then you have to go to advanced settings and give the URL of your subversion, and then come to user mapping. So this user mapping, the integration server will be having one user, and SVN will also have the one more user. I mean like to connect to SVN, you'll be having the username and password, and we have one more.
Venkat?
Yes.
Yeah. Yeah, how to enable that service? First of all, we need to enable, right? To
Which
get
one?
the URL.
Okay, so that you have
VCS.
to install separately. VCS you have to install separately. That's a separate software.
Oh, okay, okay.
Okay, so
We
VCS.
need to install separately and how to connect to this server. I mean, this tool, Webmethods tool.
Correct, that's what I have told you. So you have to go to configuration. So edit
Hmm.
configuration. So if it is a subversion, select the subversion, go to advanced settings,
Oh,
and give that repository location. Okay, for example, so when I clicked it here, right, I got one repo browser. So this is the URL. Even the same URL I can access from the browser also, but it's not, I won't be able to access now because it's in my LAN. Okay, so I can access only within my company, not outside. So the same URL I will give it here, and then we'll do the save change. Okay, I did not give it here, but you have to give one, do that, and then user mapping. I told you like there will be username and password to connect to VCS, and then our integration server also has a username and password. So this create new user mapping will tell you from the integration server, so who is the user, and when he is connecting to VCS, what's his username and password. For example, from the integration server, we are connecting with administrator as a user. Okay, say for example, username is VCS user for the VCS version control system, and the password is something. Okay, you do the save change. And one more thing, so whenever you enable this option to something else other than the subversion, I'll show you the example. So I have selected the subversion and do the save changes. So if you normally check any of our web methods code, where is it? For example, say this green check mark, and if I right click, I can see lock for edit and unlock options. I will tell you what about these two. I think I already told. If it's not, then we'll do one more time. So if you see, I
yes,
have got
yes.
lock for edit and unlock. What is the purpose of these two? Lock for edit and unlock.
Yeah, if we want to edit the service first, we need to lock it, and after that only we need to edit that,
Correct. If
right?
someone will be having the lock, then you have to unlock and then lock for edit. Okay.
Oh,
So when someone else is having the lock, then you will see the red mark instead of the green mark. Okay. I will show you that like once we go to user management. Okay. So if I do the save changes here, and then if I restart my integration designer, okay, I have to restart my integration server. Once I restart my integration server, I will go that lock and unlock will go, and one more will be check-in and check-out options will come. Okay. So check-in means like you want to update the SVN, checkout means you want to get the latest copy from the SVN. Is this clear? The VCS. So only two things here. So first you have to get the VCS URL. Come here and select which VCS, and then advanced settings you have to give the VCS URL, and then user mapping. So from IS integration server, who is the user, connected to VCS, and what's his VCS username and password. And once you complete this setup, if you restart your integration server, and then if you refresh your designer, you will see instead of lock, permit and unlock, you will see check-in and check-out options. Even you can try with the dummy URL also, it will work. Okay, if someone asks like whether you know about the VCS, you tell them I did not work on the VCS, but I know how to configure it. Okay, and one more important concept is the deployed. So everyone will ask like how did you deploy the code? So when they ask the question, so you can check, you can tell either through the package management, but this is not the correct approach. So you have to tell them you have deployed the code by using the deployer. Here we'll see how to deploy code from one server to the another server by using the deployer. So before using a deployer, okay, you have to create a package, and then before that there is a servers. Hmm. Okay. So if you check your integration server packages, okay, go to packages and then look for WM deploy. Okay, so WM deploy package you will see, but WM deploy resource won't be available. So if you have integration server open, you can check it up now. So when you have the WM deployer and WM deployer resource, like first time it won't be there. So you have to install the WM deploy resource, otherwise you won't be able to work with the deployer. Okay, so if you have the WM deployer, then WM deployer for resource, then okay. Otherwise, if you don't have, then you have to come here, the servers, IS and TN, and so there will be integration server. Okay, and then just click on install. Okay, it will ask install WM deploy resource package on the selected server. So you have to say okay. So this is our local server. So it will say deploy resource package installed and activated. And from this local server, you have to connect to other servers, right? For example, I want to move a code from my server to the another server. So this server has to be configured in the remote server alias. So we have to go to settings, remote servers, and here I have local, which is like, say for example, this is my development server or test server. I want to move code from here to, this is the development server, I want to move to QA server. So create a remote server alias for the QA server, and then host and name. Since we don't have any servers here, I will make the same as a host. I mean like QA server. Port number 5555. Let me say 2222. I have one more server with the 2222. Administrator manage and make executor as internal. So let's everything as a same. Okay, so now I can check. So I have given as 2222 port, but our server is 5555. This is the another server which I have installed in my local system. So I will check whether I'm able to connect to my 2222 or not. Yeah, so I'm able to connect to my QA server successfully. So let me open my QA server also, and then package management, Control F, deployer. See, oh, this is separate one. See, I have only the WM deployer. I don't have the WM deployer. What is that? WM deployer resource package. So what I have to do? So I can do either from here. So I can click and then I can install, or else I can directly install from here also. So this is my QA server. Let me go and refresh this. Server IS and TM. This is my QA server. I'm saying install a package, a WM resource package into QA server. So the QA server is a different server, but I still can access from here. See, deploy resource package installed and activated. So when we checked earlier, there is no resource package, WM deploy resource package. But if I refresh package management, I can see WM deploy for resource. See here in 2222. When I check that option, it installed here. So what does that mean? By using the remote server, you can access one server from the another server, but they both connected in the same network. So you should be able to access. You can check whenever you install this remote server alias, you can test it whether you are able to connect to the other server or not. Okay. So once you configure that resource package, then you have to create a project. So create a project. So name it as a, or else I have an existing project. We'll go through that. So first, you will create a package. It'd be good if you create new.
Venkat?
Yeah,
Yeah, one option was there, right? ACN. What is that?
ACL.
ACNN.
Where did you see that ACL?
Um,
One second, I
when
don't
you're
see
switching the
Windows.
server. Yeah, I think.
ACL will be there. ACN I did not see. Okay, we'll see one more time.
ACL. Okay, okay, maybe ACL only.
Is this?
Yeah, execute ACL only.
Yeah, so we'll see that ACL part later. Okay. As of now,
Oh, okay, okay, fine.
so we can see it in
Okay.
the security.
Fine.
Okay, so WM deployer. So we're creating a new project, and for that project, if you want to give description, you can give this. So project type as runtime or repository. To go with the runtime, create. Okay, so once you create your project, so there will be 4 steps. So define, build, map, and deploy. So in the define, so you have define. So what's your? So these are the project properties. So if you see project properties, the dependency checking options. So when you're moving code from one server to another server, let's say you have written one service inside your package. So that service is using another service from the another package. So when you're sorry, when you're moving the service, you have to move the another package service also. So you have to check, is there any dependencies on your service? If you move only your code, so other code, its reference it will miss. So you won't be able to execute in the target server. So you have to check the dependency, whether you are moving all the code together or only a specific part. So check the dependency always, and general project settings to enable project locking or not. So this project locking means like when you move this project, so do you want to put any lock or not? So it's okay. Even this is not required. So checkpoint creation and rollback on error. So checkpoint means like you have to say when you're moving code from one server to another server, right? So before doing any changes, you have to make one checkpoint, and if there is any issue with the target server, you can roll back. Okay, so without a checkpoint, you won't be able to roll back from that point. So first you have to create a checkpoint and then you will roll back. And I'm saying roll back an error. So roll back an error automatic if you put whenever there is an error, the code will automatically roll back. But if I make it as a manual, then it will ask whether you want to roll back or so it's okay to go with that. So make it as a manual so that you can check and do that. And these are the deployment steps. So suspend during the deployment. So when you're doing this, so related to triggers. Triggers is one more concept we have to see in the broker concept. We'll see. So triggers. When you are deploying this trigger, so do you want to uh, suspend all the triggers or selected triggers or none? Because like when you're moving the code related triggers, you have to first suspend and then move. The same way with the ports. Moving the ports, when you have to suspend at the time of deployment, and then schedule tasks also. Sorry, if you have any adapters, then you can go with that. So I'm saying triggers and adapter service, whatever I selected, only those should be suspended. Remaining should go well. But for this one, I don't want to shut my ports and schedule task. I don't want to suspend when I'm moving the code. But triggers and adapters, I want to suspend and then move the code and then enable. So overwrite existing. For example, so when you're moving all these tasks, so if these are already existing in the target server, then you want to replace or merge. So TN rules, for example, the TN rule you are moving from development to QA. So if it is already existing, then you want to replace or you want to merge with the existing. So merging means whatever it's not there, so only those will be sent to the target server. So replace means it will override the existing. Okay, so same with the ACL maps also. Okay, so this activation. So this is suspend in the current server. This activation in the target server. Okay, so this is activation on the target server. So packages. So compile Java service, yes or no. So when you are moving in Java code, so first compile and then move. No, I don't need to compile because my code will be good. So go with the without compiling. So all these options make it as a default. So most of the questions like until unless like you're going for the administration job, so they won't ask all of this. So they will ask what are the steps available in the uh, deploy. So you have to tell them define, build, and map deploy. In the define, you will tell like first you will create a package, and then define. You will define like what is the dependency check, and then general project settings, and then general deployment options. If you tell them like first three, then will be fine. So if they go advanced, then they will ask this. So what are the things you will suspend during the deployment? Okay. So once you done this, save and proceed. Okay. Successfully update project, new project, and go with the define. So define means you have to define what are the either like package or like what you want to move from our server to the target server. So first you have to create a set. So this create set, give some name. So I gave the name as a my deployment set and set as deployment. Okay. So when I create a set, so these are the options which I am getting it. Okay. And you have to select the source server. From which server you want to move the code. Okay. So my local server is the source and QA is the destination. So as of now, I selected only source. Let me check which package is not existing my target server so that we can go with. Okay, my package only. Test package is not there. So we'll move the test package. Okay, so this is my deployment, and local is the my server, and QA is the target server. So you can move all this. So if you want to move administration related, so you can move. First I have to select. Okay, open 2 times. You go to administration, then you can see all this. For example, I want to move port from here to there, I can do it. And if I want to do the schedule task, for example, this is a schedule task which I have. I want to move from my source to target, then I can select. So we don't do administration related task, we'll move the packages. So these are the packages available inside my server. And my package existing, new batch and test are not available in the target. Test is not there. And one more package which we selected, test new batch also not available. So we'll move these two. So I'm moving new batch and test package. Okay, I selected the packages, do save. Okay, I saved it, successfully updated the package list in deployment set. And then I have to go to the build, create a build again. So build means, so you have the packages with you and you want to move that package by building it. So you are building the packages which you selected. So say, so you are doing it, and then progress report you can see. See, the deployment set, my deployment set one has a unresolved dependencies and could result in a implement deployment use. The deployment user interface to resolve the dependencies. So it's saying, so the packages which I'm moving, so they have other dependencies. So it's not moving the packages and it's showing the red mark. So I have to resolve the dependencies. So go here again to my define. Okay, see. So there are unresolved dependencies. Just check the dependencies. So it's saying, so my packages, so whatever I'm using, a new batch and test, so they are referring to the other packages. For example, if you see this one, so there is a connection. My connection, this local test is using for. So I have one service in my test, and this server, this one, it's using a connection from the Sugar CRM testing package. So if I move only this package without this, what happens? So my service won't work in the target. So it's asking me, so you are moving your code without this, okay? So which is not correct. So do you want to proceed or you want to add this particular package also? So if I am okay, I know this connection is already existing in the production server or QA server, I can go with the exists. And if I know, if I say like it's not required, I will do unset. Unset means I don't require this. Add means yes, I required, add this package also. Exist means I know this package is already existing in the target server, I don't want to move. So ignore means just ignore, I don't want to do anything. Okay, the same I will say for everything. I will say ignore. And the real time you should be careful, and all the dependencies has to be properly checked and move to the next step. Once I save, the red mark became a green mark here. So then again go to build, and then rebuild one more time. Once I rebuild, so the status will become from red to green. So I can go with the next and I can check the latest report. This one 470. So it will show you so all these extractions it has done. So it extracted everything and here go with the map. So as of now, what we have done is we have selected only the source server and what the assets we want to move. Now, so you have to move this like create deployment map and then description, some test, create. Okay, so status and as of now we don't have the target server. We have to add the target server. This is my target server. Add. So I'm moving from the local server to the QA server. Okay, so we have add target group also. So you want to move different servers. For example, we have 5 QA servers, and you will make it them as a. So I will show you how to make a target group. Okay, or if you click on this, it will go. So we don't have any target groups. So do that. Here you can create a target group. Target group means so it will having more than one integration server. So you can so group means like you are grouping the particular like different integration servers, not the single one. Single means one single integration server. Group means multiple integration servers together as a group. Our package is new project, and then we are in the map step. Then deployment map, and I selected as a target server as a QA. We don't have any group, and we are not going with the group. Group means like multiple servers, but we want to move only to one server, so I selected as a add target server. Hit save, and then export. If you want to do export, so export when do you use like you want the backup of this particular thing, then you will do the export. Otherwise, you can go for the deployment. So when you do the export, okay. So this whatever the things you did till here, so this will be exported and stored into again inside your WM deploy package. Okay, so inside your WM deploy package, so there will be a package called the folder called the duplicate again. You'll see now packages. WM deployer, WM deployer. Yeah, replicate. So when you export something, so it will go and store it into your outboard. It's still exporting or still exposing, you think, exporting. Okay, so looks like export completed, but it's not showing me any message. somehow export is not working. It's all not required actually. Okay. So actually this export if you do, so this export map will be go and stores here, and you can import that existing map also. So if you have exported anything and stored into your inbound, then you can import from here. I will check why this export button is not working, but you can check it in your local system that's working or not. And then go to deployment, and then again create a deployment candidate. Okay, so you see the status is green. And simulate you will use like it's not actual deployment, and you will see what happens if you deploy the code. And then checkpoint, so you want to maintain any checkpoint, then just click on this. So if you have the checkpoint, then only you will be able to roll back. So first simulation, and then go with the checkpoint. I want to have a checkpoint on the server. So you see the screen mark, and then rollback is enabled, and even you can check the report whether your checkpoint has added or not. So these two are not existing, and I will go for the simulation. Simulation will give you a report. So what happens if you install it? So status is warning. I will check what's the warning. So the following dependencies was ignored. So do you remember like all these were what we did? So we disabled in the starting. So again it's saying so these are not existing in the target server. So it gave me the warning. But still you are going to move the code. So what you want to do? And even so this add means it's not existing. Update means it's available and it's updating that particular one. And then message. So there is no UM. So what happens if I move anything? So there will be a problem if I move it. This is just a message. You don't need to take care of. So add means this is a new one. Update means there is an existing service available and it updated the new one. So I'm okay. So go with the checkpoint we created, and then go with the deployment. Okay. So I see again. So the same simulation also gave me the warning. Deployment also gave me the warning. I'll check the report and will be the same. Okay. So if I want to roll back, I can roll back. So before roll back, I'll go and check my new server has the new packages or not. Okay. This test. Okay. And then new batch. So these two packages which I installed, I can see them here. So if you want to roll back, so what this rollback is, it will remove those two packages again. You will see that. The rollback is like when there is a problem with the other server. Okay, so rollback completed. And if you want, you can check the message and see here. I have the new batch and test packages. But again, if I check it, see, so there is a new batch and test. So both will be deleted because my so I did rollback. So whatever it installed into my server, they again roll back. This is clear about the deployer. And so go through one more time. Okay, so one more important question which I missed. So there is a chance that they will ask. So we'll see, like we'll move the packages, right? So with these packages, what you can do, you can move the admin related tasks also. They will ask what are the admin related things you can move from one server to another server. What are the resources related to web methods file system, and what are the resources related to the trading networks. Okay, so from trading networks you can migrate processing rules. So this we have to discuss, but this is an important question. So they will ask. So this we call it as a assets, trading networks assets. So what are the trading networks assets? We can move from one server to the another server. So there you can mention so processing rules, document attributes, document types, agreements, field groups, field definitions, and external ID types. If we tell them so you remember only the processing rules also will be fine. But they will ask what are the trading networks assets that we can move from one server to another server by using the deployer. Same way administration assets also. So you can move the schedule task ports, users, groups, ACLs, and extended settings. Okay. So here only this is important. And even like so if you have the build and if you export the build, okay, so this build will be uh, what to say. So you can see it's downloaded, and you can see the same will go and store here also in the build. And so this one you can import. If you want to import, it should be inside a inbound folder. Okay, good here. Okay, so we have done this ECS deployer, EDI, and EDNT I will come. Okay, not now. We have seen the adapters earlier, so only BC will be fine here. There is one more methods. Did we see the WMDB? WMDB. Did we discuss? Hello.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yes, I think.
Correct. So when we're discussing with the web methods JDBC adapters, we have seen the WMDB. Correct. Correct. Okay. So we don't need the web methods cloud security. Okay. So first we'll go to the certificates, and then we'll come to ACLs when we are discussing about the user management. So the certificates are important when your organization is interacting with another organizations, and so for the security purpose. So all your authentication. Okay. So you have your own certificate, and customer will be having his own certificate, and whatever the data he is sending to you, so he will encrypt or he will sign and send the data. And what you have to do, you have to decrypt and you will read the data. Same way, when you are sending the data to him, you will sign and encrypt and send to him, and he will decrypt it. So all these things will happen through the certificate. So the certificates, how do you install the client certificates? For example, the client is sharing you the certificates. Then first you will take the certificate. So I have one PDF. Let me check where it is. So I will send you this. Okay, not a problem. So when we change the certificates is like whenever the partner certificate expires or when you are doing the new customer setup. So the first time when you are enabling him, so you have to take his certificate and you have to install. Okay, so come here. Okay, so customer will send the certificate, so either in the zip format or as a normal text file or something. So that will be with the .cer. So for .cer he will append .txt. So .cer files and .dir files won't be able to send through the email. So either he will send through the zip or he will make some other extension and he will ask you to remove the extension and proceed with that. Okay, so first you have to take the certificates and you have the certificate will be in the .cer format, but our integration server expect them into .dir format. Okay. Hmm. So actually in the web methods like we have the web method certificate toolkit, so where you will convert your .cer to .dir. For example, let's see here. So when I say configure certificate, right? So your certificate, like your integration server, always expect a certificate in the .dir format. But customer will most of the customers will share the file in the form of .cer. So you have to use any software which will convert from .cer to .dir. So I will use like port select. There will be one, this one, 7-zip, extract to port select. Hmm. Port select. So this is a third party um, software where I will like this one will be used converting a .cer to .dir, unlike other things also you can do. Java. Okay, so I don't know whether I have any certificates with me. Let me check. Hmm. For example, I have one certificate called the Inter-CER. So you can see the general details and then certificate path. Actually, the certificate will be in root, intermediate. So here you'll see the three, right? Two, right? So SSL certificate will be having three also. So if it is a root certificate, it will be having only one. If it is an intermediate certificate, you'll see two. And if it is intermediate and root is same, you'll see only two.